The game that I'm about to show you has a bunch of brilliant moves, and this was a very tactical and kind of just beautiful game in a way, and I'm very excited to show it to you. So this was round number 6 of Reykjavik Open, big chess tournament that I'm playing right now in Iceland, and I was facing Aaron Spencer, a 1900 rated player from the United States. Now, when I started this game, I was pretty fried because I had just finished a 6-hour classical game. This was played on a day with double rounds, so there were 2 rounds in one day. So I literally finished my 6-hour classical game at 3 p.m. and this game started at 4 p.m. So I had literally just ran to like Joe and the Juice and gotten some avocado toast and a smoothie, and I was just eating it, like speedrun eating it before my round, and then I came here and I played. My opponent, obviously, like, he had taken a bye that morning, so he was feeling very fresh and he was ready to beat me. And he was very nice, and we spoke a little bit before the game, and then we shook hands and we started the clock. And I had the white pieces, so I played d4, he went d5, c4, c6, knight c3, knight f6. Now, I hadn't had any time to prepare against him because I had finished my game so late, so I still felt in my brain the 6-hour classical game that I had just played. I was like, am I playing chess again? Like, I remember sitting there and being like, okay, like, what is happening? Like, I was just playing really fast because I was kind of like, you know, just playing moves. It didn't feel real that I was playing another classical game. So knight f3, e6, and then e3. So here, I had played this line just like the day before, so I was actually feeling really confident about the fact that I knew what I was kind of doing in the opening. So knight d7, bishop d3, and now he took. The idea here is that black loses a little bit of center, but is able to play b5, and then here, the plan is just simply to play c5 at some point. However, he didn't play immediately bishop b7 or anything, he went bishop d6. And so I ended up just castling, castles, and now I went for the move e4, which I think actually maybe would be better to start with something like queen c2. I don't need to go for e4 immediately. And after bishop b7, play maybe a3 and just play a little bit slower. But e4 is totally fine. And I'm threatening now e5. So the only move he can do is e5. Now, at this point, I was really feeling like my tournament wasn't going so well. So I was like, okay, this is the game where we turn the tides around. This is the game where I win. We just beat this 1900 and just bum. We just make the comeback. And I was feeling very hungry for a win, you know? Like I was feeling very, even though I was really, my brain was fried, I was feeling very like, I want to win. You know what I mean? Yeah. So here I went h3 just because I wanted to kind of prevent the knight from coming up to g4. Because I wanted to play bishop e3. That was my idea. So I played rook e8, and I ended up playing bishop e3, defending. Now I played this move b4. I went knight e2 just to defend this pawn, and so far we had played pretty quickly. But now he did this move c5. And when he played it, I was very confused because I thought, wait, if I take here, and you take, and take, and take, and I go something like queen c2, I mean, this must be a great position for me, I thought, because this pawn is so weak, and I just thought that I would almost like win material. But then all of a sudden, he takes with the bishop, and I'm like, what? Like, is this actually possible? You can take with the bishop? Like, isn't this like so anti-positional? Like, the bishop, for me, I just feel like it's such a good piece. Like, you're giving away the bishop. I was so confused at this point. But he played it very confidently and very quickly, and so I was like, okay, what's happening? So my initial reaction was just, I must get rid of this bishop, I must take it. But I think actually it would have been better to play something like queen c2, just because then I'm putting a little bit of pressure on this pawn, I'm going to be bringing in my rooks, and I'm being a little bit more flexible with what I played, like I have more choices. But I was just so excited to get rid of that bishop that I took it. Like, I actually spent like 15 minutes on this move, but I ended up taking this, and then the idea was that after takes, I would go bishop b5, and I just wanted to play against these pawns, basically. So I went bishop d7, I thought that he might go something like knight f takes d7, and then I was just going to go something like queen c2, and I thought here my position was really good, but he took with the queen, which is the best move. And I should probably here just get into the endgame and just like trade queens. And I have absolutely no problem then. But I actually ended up playing bishop takes c5 because I was very greedy and wanted to win a pawn. But this move is not so good because of queen b5, which was a move that I missed. And with this, he's basically threatening my bishop. He's just activating his queen a lot, and his rooks are coming in with a lot of force. And I'm not really playing with my rooks at all right now. So it's almost like I'm playing with a few pieces down. So I completely missed this idea, and now I started to feel a bit stressed. So I went bishop d4, he went rook a d8, and here I spent like 20 minutes thinking because this is really funny. I actually, in this position, saw that I must get my queen out of the d-file. So I saw that I should maybe like move it up a step here. But I didn't want to go here because I thought then he's going to go rook c8. And then if I go back, we're going to repeat. And I did not want to draw. I mean, we don't have to repeat, but I just thought that like, yeah, we would pretty much end up repeating. And for some reason, I really did not want that. I also like didn't really see the idea of like, if he moves this rook here, I can go queen b3, and now it's okay that I'm giving up this knight because there's bishop takes e5. So yeah, I felt here when he went to rook d8 that I had a lot of problems because I cannot move my queen as my knight is hanging. I cannot really go anywhere because his knights are just going to threaten my queen. And I just felt like this move was a big threat. So I was actually feeling really scared here, but the best move would have been queen c2. I played a very strange move, which was queen d2, because I wanted, after knight takes e4, to go queen c2 and threaten this knight, as now rook c8 wouldn't be possible. And this was just, I don't know what I was thinking. This is a moment where I want to enter my brain and be like, Anna from the past, what were you thinking? This was not the right choice. But yeah, I made this mistake.
Queen c2 is what I want to see on board. I really want to see. This is such an important moment. Sorry, this is such an important moment. Anna is going to play now. She's on her way to play. Can we see queen to c2? No, she played queen to d2, and this is a mistake. Queen to d2 is a mistake. She won because this queen doesn't have any good places to go to. After the queen to d2, this is going to get very, very dangerous. Also, we have knight c6 here. We have f3, and there are pins everywhere. So queen d2 was not the move I liked.
But now, the craziest thing happened. I thought here that he would go something like, he would move the knight back or do anything, which would lead us to having a pretty equal position. But what I didn't know is that my opponent would find a beautiful, brilliant move, and that would just completely turn the tide of the game. Now you can pause the video right now and try to find it, and I'll heart some comments that have the right move. So tell me in the comments if you can find the move, because you're a chess genius then, and you should automatically get 100 points of elo. But yeah, he played the move knight f3 check, which is a beautiful, brilliant. He's just fully sacrificing the knight to weaken my king. I completely missed this move, and I thought for a long time. He went knight g5, and here I spent a very long time analyzing if king g2 or king h1 was better. I ended up coming to a conclusion that king g2 was better, because after king h1, I thought that there was, first and foremost, I thought here, I ended up going bishop e3. Sorry, no, this was not the moment where I spent the time thinking, because then he just takes my knight on e2. I went bishop e3 so that he wouldn't be able to take my knight, and after knight takes f3 check, this is where I spent a lot of time analyzing king g2 or king h1. I ended up playing king g2 because I thought if king h1, there is this move, there's queen b7, for instance, and then I thought, well, now I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. I didn't really know how to defend this. Maybe I have to move my queen. This is actually the only move that doesn't lose on the spot. But actually the move that I was thinking about is queen d5. And then I thought after knight f4, I thought that if he goes something like queen a8, I thought that if knight g2, he's just simply going to have like rook d6, and it's just going to be bringing in his rook. And this is actually equal, but I was really scared of this. But the move queen b7 wins here for him. But I ended up playing king g2, and queen b7 is now the strong move again, but he went queen d5, which is also fine. I played king g3, which, the engine thinks it's a mistake. The reason I'm playing here is because his threat is to go knight e1 check and then checkmate me. There's a double check, so I must play either knight f4 or king g3, but I thought if knight f4, knight e1 check, king h2, and I'm actually just going to be, well, I'm just going to be in a losing endgame, I thought, after all the trades. So I thought this would just be kind of bad for me. So I went king g3, and now the only move that wins for him is h5. And during the game, I saw this, and I was like, what do I do if he plays h5? I was going to play something like knight f4, h4 check, and king g4, and pray that there was no checkmate. But this is actually completely losing. It's -8 for him, so I'm just dead lost here. But here, he had 42 minutes on the clock. He did not play h5, and instead, he played knight g5. And this is a huge mistake, because it allows me to play the move knight f4. And now, I am completely winning.
He played knight to g5. This, he played immediately, but this is not the best move. The best, because now Anna is actually much better. Now she has knight f4 and check and king h2, and she will be in the game.
Now here, the saddest thing I was going to say in history, it's not the saddest thing in history, but a very sad thing happened, and that was that I saw knight f4. And I saw that after knight f4, I'm threatening the queen, and after queen f3 check, I'm defending here. So I didn't see how he was going to continue his attack. I was maybe scared of something like rook e4 or something, which I'm not sure why I was scared of. I saw that this worked, but last minute, I decided to change my mind, and I was like, oh, what happens if I just simply take this knight? I'll get rid of his, attacking piece. And I just quickly played it without really thinking.
She took here, and what will happen here? No, take king h2, and what will happen? We have rook d2 here. She will absolutely be lost now. She had too little time. She had for little time, and she took the knight. Knight f4, and Anna was winning.
But I saw knight f4, and I really wanted to play knight f4, and my mom was saying knight f4, everybody was hoping I would play knight f4, and I just played this terrible blunder without really thinking, which is so ironic because I always think too much. But the one time I think too little, I make a mistake. And it was just really annoying. And I played bishop g5, and the reason I played it was because I was only looking at the queen and the rook here. I just completely missed that he has the move rook d2, just winning the game. This was the reason I just missed this move. It was honestly just, an honest mistake where I just missed this one move he had. And I immediately saw it after he went queen takes g5, and I just thought, oh wow, it's over. And I got so mad for not playing knight f4. So, we played a few more moves, and then here I'm just dead lost because of the fact that my pawns are so weak, I'm a pawn down, but my king is also extremely weak. So even though it's just one pawn, it's just over. And here, I was not really seeing tactics at this point. I was low on time. I was mad at myself for not seeing knight f4. I kept rethinking the moment of me holding the bishop and taking the knight. And I was like, I wish I could go back in time and just hold the knight instead. And then here I missed queen g3 check, which is a beautiful move, as if I take the queen, he just checkmates me. So this was just very nice. And then I resigned here. So this was very sad because of the fact that knight f4. Actually, the first thing that I told him after the game was, what happens if I play knight f4? And my mom noticed that, and she got all excited. But yeah, I think that was the only thing that hurt. In a way, I wasn't so upset after this game because I thought the game was so beautiful when he played knight f3 check, and I appreciate beautiful chess. And I played two really bad moves, which were queen d2 and bishop takes g5. Those were my two big mistakes. So I understand why I lost the game, and losing, this tournament so far hasn't been going so well. This was the last game that I played. I'm losing some rating, and the tournament in general isn't going so well. But I think it's important to remember that in chess you can win and lose. And in chess you can both have good tournaments and bad tournaments. And I actually haven't had a bad tournament in quite a while. All tournaments I've played pretty much since I started streaming have been tournaments where I've gained rating and they've been going well. So I think that I need to accept that sometimes I'm not playing so well, and I need to learn the reason for me not playing so well and then just try to improve that. And so I think this game just taught me that just because it looks like I have a losing position doesn't mean that I do. I can actually still save it. 2, I should trust my intuition more because my first intuition was knight f4. And 3, I need to study openings because I'm getting bad positions out of every opening because I haven't studied openings in a long time. Because I know that when I'm calculating, my intuition is pretty good, I'm playing good chess, but I'm getting bad positions out of the opening because I don't know enough theory. So this has been actually very instructive for me. And yeah, I think that is primarily like the thing that I need to take away from here. And losing is part of any competition. It would be great if competing just meant winning, but I need to accept that I'm losing and I need to be okay with that, and I need to just learn from it and not let it get to me too much. And that is what I've been processing ever since I lost this game, because I was obviously quite upset of losing in this way against someone that was so much lower rated. Even though he's like 2250 on Rapid and chess.com I saw. So he's definitely like, yeah, around my level in Rapid, but I was still quite upset, which is very normal and part of competing. But yeah, I appreciate the support that I've been getting from you. I read your comments, and I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that just type, hey, Anna, you suck at chess. And you know, that's that. But to all of you that are being very supportive and that are understanding that in competitive chess you can win and lose and that you shouldn't really let that define you, I appreciate that. So thank you to all of you that are being very supportive. I read your comments, they make me very happy, and I'm gonna keep giving it my best all the way until the very end of the tournament because we have 3 rounds to go, and I am not giving up yet. I'm going to be trying to make a comeback, and I'm going to be trying to play my very best chess. I'm playing my next round in 2 hours, and I'm very excited, and I'm just gonna play my best chess and let this, you know, be in the past and just think of it as a new tournament starting today. 3 rounds left, we got this, and I'm excited. And if we don't, well then I'll just have to study what it is that I'm not getting. So yeah, thank you once again for your support, and wish me good luck for the next round. Bye-bye.